Hi guys, welcome to the show and the Four Poster Bed. I'm just about to go and do my first audiobook for Audible. I'm very excited actually, but I thought I'll do a quick update about how I'm doing with my niching down. So I've niched down this podcast as well. It's just music now, music commentary. I've niched down all my other podcasts as well. Everything's a niche. I've niched down all my blogs. So each podcast has their own blog. So if you're listening on this podcast, you can find all of the episodes easily at iServalan.com. Really, really easy to find. They're all on there, okay? So iServalan.com is the orchestra website. I've gone with the word orchestra, guys. I'll tell you why. Band gives the impression of, to me anyway, a bunch of youthful boys in a garage, smoking weed, being a bit rock and roll, you know. Rather than a 60-year-old, 61 actually, a 61-year-old, classically trained, all-round composer, musician. So I thought, well, and we are an orchestra. I mean, that's the thing, we're not a band, we're an orchestra. I have, access to the full orchestra at my fingertips because I'm an electronic musician. I have access to anything imaginable. Of course, a band could do that as well, but bands tend to make songs with beginning, middle, end. And I'm trying to move away to a much more orientated, how would I say it? Well, I've written a musical. So I don't know what you'd say the difference is, because, of course, musicals, they have hit songs threaded through them. Think of Grease and things like that. And Saturday Night Fever and the Bee Gees, all of that. But I do think it's a very different beast. And, I'm thinking about sort of Gershwin. I mean, I'm not comparing myself to Gershwin, of course I'm not. But, well, why shouldn't I, actually? Why shouldn't a contemporary female musician compare herself to any of the men who came before her? Did they have the same ideas? Did Gershwin have the same intricate influences / madness that I have? I mean, we're incomparable, are we not? That's the first thing. I mean, this is the thing with musicians. They, attempting to compare yourself is sort of futile. It's like comparing artists. We're all good at certain bits of being an artist. Like, I'm really good at copying, for example. I'm very good at smudging. I'm very good at mixing paints on the canvas. I'm not so good at life drawing. Do you see what I'm saying here? There are things that I can do better that other people can't. And I tell you what, I'm a bit of a wizard with my electronic pen now. I think I'm getting really good with that. And, Picasso, he would have had to have trained for a couple of years to, reach that. Because you do, when you transfer from paper to tablet, it takes an awful lot of understanding. It's a different medium, guys, it really is. And that's the same with music. I don't play nearly as well as Jacqueline Dupre. Of course I don't. But I can write things in an exciting way for immersion, sci-fi adventure. Actually, I suspect that Jacqueline Dupre could probably do that as well. But you know what I mean? It's a futile thing, because what do you make as an artistic musician is so unique and personal to you that it, hopefully, if you're not copying other people, don't do that, that it creates something divine, actually, divine. It's all about my enlightenment, which came to that realisation, that when you write a novel about AI, as I've been doing for the last 3 bloody years, it's taking a very long time, you start to understand more about the human brain by understanding more about the machine. It's such a massive learning curve. And each human brain is so influenced by so many different things. and then is so coloured by personality, all these electric things going on inside of you, that nobody else could make what you make. Even if you're rubbish, no one else can do it. It's your bloody rubbish. Do you know what I mean? I think that's really important to remember that. Anyway, getting back to me and Gershwin. I would have loved Gershwin, a brilliant arranger, to arrange my music for the orchestra. I'm not particularly good at arranging. I'm not particularly good at score writing. But these are jobs that are being taken over by AI now. And then you can tweak them after. It's much easier to tweak something that's already been done for you, as long as it's not too awful. If it's too awful, there's no hope. You need to start back from the beginning. This is what I find with music all the time. So anyway, back to niching down. Let's get away from Gershwin, shall we, for a bit. This podcast now is just all about music. So it's also got its own website, iServalan.com, as I said earlier. And the only thing I'm going to do on here is music. So talk about music. I can't play it because they'll close my podcast down. So this is a free podcast. It's free for you to listen to. It's free for me to talk to you via. It's free to stream on any site I want, including YouTube. So if you've got an official music account, for your band or your whatever. I've got Telltale Club. That's my official music channel that YouTube manage for me. Not well, I'm hastened to add, but I don't have time to do such things. They collect all the royalties and stuff. It's free. And as musicians, we're probably paupers. I don't think even successful musicians are earning enough money to live these days. So, you have to take that on board. So free podcast that links directly to your YouTube, your official band or singer music YouTube channel. All free, all free. And you can really start building on that, rolling with it. I earn a pittance from royalties. It's such a pittance. Even with, well, no, I don't really get many downloads. I'm not going to lie. That would be stupid. Which again is why I want to niche down, and this is getting to the crux of the musical, and that's why I'm recording it today. I'm recording the audio, the spoken word bit, and then all week I'm making the actual album. It's going to be probably an hour long, and that will accompany the book. But Audible don't want you to play your music either. So if you've written a musical, you can only really put it on YouTube or Vimeo if it's multimedia, if there's a visual to it. If there's an audio to it, you're a bit stuck because you can't put it on Audible. You can't put it on podcasts because I don't like music. What do? Well, there is only YouTube. Do you see what I'm saying here? I mean, you could have your own website and you could charge people to enter and listen. I'll be doing that. You could have your own shop and you could sell a CD of it. I'll probably be doing that as well when volume 1 is finished. There are going to be hundreds of volumes. I'm doing this till I die. I'm in it for the long haul. So there are some things you could do. I mean, I was thinking about, because it's an illustrated book and an audio book with music, all of those things, it would work in a packaged, limited edition art box where, people would open it up and there would be, it would be great to have a vinyl, wouldn't it? I think they're quite expensive to create on vinyl, but I'll look into it. I mean, imagine if you opened up this box, like the tin. Do you remember the Public Image Limited tins? You open it up and you've got your vinyl in there, but also it comes with a book, a graphic novel style book, and a CD. I mean, that, and perhaps a poster or something, or a flag. I'm doing flags at the moment. That would be great, and it would be very collectible. So I'm sort of thinking about, these things, but it is very difficult to be able to have and collect royalties. I'm talking about. Yeah, you can put, your your musical, which is a video, on Vimeo, but they're not going to collect royalties for you. You're better to put it on YouTube, because YouTube do that. They're really collecting for copyright content on behalf of their clients. And you're a client if you sign up to a distribution place like TuneCore. So that's one reason why it's good to stay on TuneCore. But I'm going to try and get a free account. I mentioned this the other day. If I can get a free account, I'll stay with them. I'm just thinking about things at the moment. I mean, the thing is, it's £40 a year, and if you're only breaking even, there's still a purpose to it, and I am breaking even. So, I may retract on my initial, decision last week, which was to take it off, to stop distributing via YouTube and TuneCore, because people are going to steal your work. Definitely going to steal it. Even if it's as weird as mine, they are going to steal it. And if they know that you're not on YouTube, they're going to steal it even more. Or rather, if you're not, if your work isn't being copywritten on YouTube, the temptation will be so great. People are desperate for free content. So, I'm kind of thinking, right, okay, perhaps I should stay. I'll let you know, don't worry. I mean, this is, it's all about the business of music, isn't it? How do we, as musicians, save ourselves the money? You should never pay for distribution. It's an absurd idea. They're already going to get your money. They're going to get a cut. That's, you've got to really think about it. I think, I did do a search, and there are a couple who don't collect, who don't charge you, but I've forgotten who they are now. And for me, that I've got 150 tracks. They're not all music tracks. Some of them are ringtones. But if I change distributor, I have to download all of those because I don't have them anymore. And in fact, some I don't think I can even download, and upload to a different distributor. Now, what I could do, which I am considering, is from, now on, when I do the albums, have those distributed via a different distributor. That is something I'm considering. So there are a few around. You have to go and look. But I mean, this is big business, trying to successfully getting vanity money from people who publish their own music. And at the end of the day, that's what we are, in this day and age. We're vain enough, musicians are vain enough to publish their own music. And, for whatever curse that creates, whether it, you can't be vain as a musician. You have to just believe. There's no room for vanity in it, because you won't make any work. And I guess if you really hit it the big time and you're a massive success, and it goes to your head, I think you'll burn out quickly. I really do believe that. And if you're relying on things like sex to sell stuff, I was looking at, is it Minnie Minaj? No, what's her name? You know who I mean, Minaj. Who literally just overproduces pornographic imaging every day, and on Instagram, and you just think, she's a really good musician and her stuff is okay, but I'm not going to listen to it because I know her audience, and therefore I know her. I mean, it might be harsh of me, but that is how I feel. Because this is a podcast for serious musicians, not, I mean, I've had my days of, clickbait imagery. But if that's all you're about, if that's all you have, you won't last long, guys. You won't last long in this industry. So that's my tip for life today. So iServalan.com for all my blog posts about the wonderful world of music, with loads of free ringtones also.